What's up, Facebook? Yep, I'm going live. We're going to have a little bit of adult conversation. So I want you all, especially the ladies, share the videos. I really appreciate it. Maybe it can help somebody, who's to say, I don't know. But make sure that you share. I greatly appreciate it. Whew. It's one of those days. Ooh, in here, I'm going to give y'all a couple of minutes to jump in before I get started. It's hot, and it's supposed to be fall, and I'm over here about to die. This heat, humidity, I'm like, where is it coming from? So anyway, I'll give y'all just a couple more seconds. Jump in so I don't be sitting here looking crazy. Hi, Bev. How are you? I hope all is well. So, I might as well go on ahead and get this on and popping. So, I posted up a little while ago, because y'all know that's what I do, them WRC Chronicles. And I asked the question, how do you feel when you hear that phrase, let him cheat in peace? So I think a few of you, I appreciate your responses or what have you, but it sparked some deep thought on my behalf, because I've been through it. And I'm sure that 99.9% of us females, if we were to sit down and have some truth and own some truth, we am I good? Yeah. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I misread this thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all, forgive me. Y'all know I can't see with my glasses on. I don't know why. But anyway, as I was saying, 99% of us have been through infidelity issues. And men will cheat. It's a known fact. Women will cheat also. That's a known fact. So it is what it is. But it's how you handle the infidelity. And I'm going to give y'all the perspective from a female point of view. It might hurt some feelings, but it is what it is. When women get cheated on, 9 times out of 10, it's going to psychologically bother her more so than it does him. And I'm not saying that, men don't have a conscience. Of course they do. But men are going to cheat for 2 things. And I think someone else said it quite clearly and much better than I did. Mary B. She simply stated men would cheat because, 1, they can, and number 2, because they want to. And that pretty much goes across the board for either or, whether it's male or female. But that's generally the truth of the matter. So people going to cheat. We might as well go ahead and understand that. But from a female perspective, it's the reason why a lot of women will stay. 1 is because she still has hope that that man is going to figure it out real quick, fast, in a hurry, and not break her heart anymore and tear down her self-esteem any further and correct the action by not cheating on her anymore. That's first rule of thumb. Because usually, that hurt. We can't believe it. He would cheat on me. Why? I give him everything. I jump over, bridges and puddles and everything in between. And that's still not enough. He's going to cheat. And sometimes, I'm sorry, ladies, that's just the way it is. They still gonna choose to do what they want to do. And if it's cheating, then so be it. It doesn't mean that he don't love you. It doesn't mean that he doesn't care about the family. Some men, they just feel like they've got to have more than one female. For whatever the reason, that makes his ego stroked or what have you, or he's trying to fill a void. Just some men just determined they're going to have more than one woman. It's life. But those are, things that you just have to come into the understanding. But for a female, again, like I said, first it's the psychological part. So we go snooping, trying to figure out who our competitor is. That's the first natural thing, that an instinct for a female. We need to know, okay, so he cheating on me with so-and-so. So I need to see what she got that I don't have. That's the first stage. So then we start trying to do things that we think that she's doing to emulate, and hopefully that'll get him back in check, and he'll be like, you know what, I got this at home, so I'll leave that one alone. Or we'll go to the next phase of, I think I'm going to just stick around even though I know the relationship ain't going to go no further. He's disrespecting me, this, that, and the third. A lot of times, instead of us packing our shit and going, what we'll do is we will more or less, I'm trying to find the best words to put this. We'll more or less look at the individual and be like, you know what? I'd rather stay and make your life a little bit miserable versus just going ahead and cutting you off right away. Because we don't want to give the satisfaction to the side piece or the mistress first. We feel like we got to play this little game, and I'm going to show you who's the better woman of the two. So we'll stay and we'll deal with some bullshit, nonsense, and drama longer than we need to, because we still, in our minds, competition to the other person. Instead of just saying, you know what, I need to go ahead and just cut this on off. There's another reason why we'll stay. Most of us, we have this idea when we get involved with folks, especially when we get involved with them too soon. Next thing you know, you met him today, you done moved him in your house tomorrow. And so you start building these bills and responsibilities and creating kids. So you want to stay because you feel like society says you don't want to be another statistic. You don't want to be a single parent, or you don't have the financial means to up and go. That's a lot of the reason why women will stay as well. A lot of them just can't afford to jump up and move within 24 hours. So they stuck there until they can figure out a plan on how to get away from that individual. And that's even when you're dealing with somebody not only just cheating, but with domestic violence and this, that, and third, because you done wrapped yourself up so much into somebody else that you can't financially afford to go. So therefore, another reason as to why women will stay a little bit longer than they want to. Doesn't mean that she's not making plans to go, but again, that just means she might have to be a little delayed in her efforts to go. But see, a smart woman is going to be stacking her paper. I don't care. And it's not only stacking her paper, be stacking at a storage unit. Go ahead and be having you some backup furniture, whatever the case you got to do, whatever it may be. You have you a backup plan, because these days and times we want to believe that the relationship is going to last forever and this person is never going to disrespect me or break my heart. But reality is that there's always that possibility. And 9 times out of 10, it will happen at some level. It may not necessarily be physically cheating. It may be, he could be violent, just disrespectful, just, whatever the case is. It could be, physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. There are several reasons why a woman will stay, because sometimes we get in this mindset because we done been beat down so long and told that in order to feel like that you're a woman or that you are complete is that you have to have someone, you have to have a male counterpart. And so that's where a lot of our issues come in at. And I know for some of us, we don't want to accept the truth, but it is what it is. And I'm going to deliver it to you however I feel it at this particular time. And right now, I'm not being as passionate because I have several people be like, girl, you're having us rolling. But, this is dead serious because I know somebody's going through this situation. But also when you stay, what you're actually teaching that person, whether that be male or female, is that I'm okay with you disrespecting me. I'm okay with you treating me as such. I'm okay with this. And you actually teaching yourself to live with that attitude, to live with that reality, that it's okay if I accept certain things. It's okay that he treats me, X, Y, Z, or she treats me X, Y, Z. Instead of finding the courage to jump up, do what you need to do. If you allow certain things, they're going to continue to happen. So you have to learn when it's enough. Everybody has that moment when they realize, what, enough is enough. I have to learn how to love me just a little bit better than what I have in the past. You set the parameters on how people treat you. It's up to you what you choose to accept. So at the end of the day, you know, we have to take some accountability and some understanding as to why we do some of the stuff we do. You know, ladies, I've been there. And, you know, I stayed in a certain situation much longer than I needed to. So for me, it was a moment of where I had to realize love didn't love me no more. I had given everything that I possibly could give. And then the reality was it was never going to be enough. When it's over, it's over. When you started to mentally check out of the relationship, when you've already started to emotionally check out of the relationship, and lastly, physically check out of the relationship, it's time to go. There's no point in keep dragging it on. There's no point in keep trying to fuss and fight. And I do have the sense to understand that, you know, human nature, the first thing we want to do, we want to protect something that we love. You know, we want to fight for it. But if you're the only person that's fighting for that relationship and giving the benefit of doubt after the first time, and when you, my thing is this, if you express it the first time that, hey, I don't like the way you treating me, and that person still does not reciprocate and understand that, you know what, I need to change my way. I need to stop hurting you. I need to stop doing X, Y, Z. Then you need to take accountability as to why they continue to do the same stuff that they do to you. They're not going to respect you. They're not going to respect your feelings. They could care less at the end of the day because they know every time they come back and they say, I'm sorry, and their actions don't match up to that I'm sorry, but yet you keep accepting that I'm sorry, then it means nothing. Because at the end of the day, that person is going to be like, you know what, I can say this, that, and third. I can act right for a couple of days, a couple of weeks. She'll forget all about it. And then I'm going to go right back and keep doing the same shit I was doing before. Because all I got to do is come back and say, I'm sorry. But your actions don't have to match up. And so that's where you have to make some serious decisions. And stop lollygagging, pussyfooting, whatever you want to call it, and make a decision whether you're going to continue to be disrespected or no. And if you choose to stay, then understand you have to set some rules and regulations and be firm and stick to them. Stop making idle threats. If you know that you can sit here and you can tell whether male or female, hey, this is the situation. If you don't stop doing X, Y, Z, then I'm out. You have to prove your point. Sometimes when I said when you have to raise hell, that's what I meant when I said give him a little bit of hell. Because he gonna catch hell one way or the other. Because the reason why I say he's gonna catch some hell, because see, certain things is gonna start to change in that household. When I say certain things, it may be, I might decide, you know what, since you don't appreciate what you getting here, then you go and get it over at that other bitch house. So I might stop cooking. I might stop washing your nasty ass clothes. I'm going to still get my sex when I choose that I want to have it with you, but you might have to use a condom from this point forward. Especially if I know that you out there and you slinging, you know, that little pickle in here and yonder. Yeah, you going to have to strap up. There ain't going to be no more of that raw, all natural feeling no more. So, but at the end of the day, I'm going to still get mine. Believe that. I ain't going to, you know, slight me on that era. So I don't believe in using sex as a weapon. You might not get it as much, but you still might have a chance. But at the same token, after you continue, if you continue to do the same stuff and I continue to find out, oh, everything getting cut off. Meaning I'm walking out the door. I'm not going to continue to deal with the nonsense. I'll give you a first opportunity. Everybody deserves that one opportunity. I will say that. Because we know everybody's not perfect. We all make mistakes. I get that. Lord knows we all do. Because we human. But common sense says, you know what, I got to step in there and I got to make some serious decisions. If this person is going to continue to disrespect what I've said, if they continue to disrespect my emotional state, and they put me through all this extra nonsense, and I don't give a damn whether you a man and you feel like because you pay all the bills in the house, or that you a part-time father, because you can still be in the house and not really be involved with your kids. Trust me on that as well, because a lot of us do it. And the results, we see it all day, every day out here on these streets. So some of y'all can feel like, okay, I'm a good father because I'm here, you know, but you ain't being active in those children's lives. Or you because you pay some bills up in that motherfucker. But guess what? These are things that you're supposed to do anyway. So to me, that's not something that I feel like that any man or woman should feel like that they got bragging rights to. If you clean the house, you pay the bills, you take care of the children, those are natural things that you should do anyway. Where do people feel like that they're supposed to earn you some brownie points and make you feel like that, okay, I'm doing all these things, but I still can go out here and creep and kick it with somebody else, causing emotional ties elsewhere, and the possibility of bringing in more children that you probably can't afford, because you probably can't afford the ones that you already have, or you get creating more bills than what you already have, because you're going to have some money if you're going to be out here creeping, because at some point you're going to have to spend some dollars. I'm sorry, because you're going to need to be able to take care of both households, because that one on the side, you're going to have to pay her to keep her mouth shut, because a lot of times y'all men folk bring your mouth too much. You do a lot of pillow talking, and us females, we paying attention. Those that's on their game, she's paying attention. So if she's a side chick, guess what? She know all the business that she needs to know about you to destroy your life. So you need to make better decisions on, is it worth me going out here creeping for some temporary pleasure and losing what I got at home? Or should I just keep my ass at the house, be a man, be a woman, sit down, try to figure out our issues, try to figure out our problems, solve it, and move forward? But if you can't do that, and you realize that you need an open relationship or open marriage, or you just need to be single, then do that. I would rather somebody go ahead and be up front and just say, you know what, I just don't have that settlement spirit in me. I just don't have that commitment spirit in me. I like to look. I like to, venture out sometime and do my thing. That to me is respectful. That to me shows the character of somebody, because they can be honest enough and they can be themselves to come to you and talk to you and be who they truly are without there being so much repercussion. But at the end of the day, if you can't do that, if you can't be the person that you started out and said that you were, then guess what? You deserve to catch some hell. Real talk. You deserve to catch every little bit of hell, because you're going to catch some hell when that woman walking out that door. Because when that meal ticket goes walking out that door, when that woman that's done held you down, took you from sugar to shit, or shit to sugar, whichever one you want to call it, you're going to miss it. And trust me, there will come a moment when you will be sitting there looking crazy, and you're going to realize, damn, I really did fuck up. I had somebody who was willing to put up my bullshit, and I just couldn't seem to get it right. I couldn't honor her request. So my ladies, and this is real talk, if you gonna stay, stay. I'm not here to convince you one way or the other, but understand why you're staying. And if he's gonna continue to cheat, then you know what? Yeah, you might need to go on ahead and accept it. If that's where you at in your life, if that's what that low self-esteem is telling you, or everybody else that's trying to live your life and tell you who you should and shouldn't be and how you should live your life, if you want to follow their rules, then yeah, you go ahead and stay. But if you want to be happy, one thing I know and two things for certain, you always save a little bit of this right here for you. So just in case things don't always work out in the way that you choose to have them work out or want them to, you always got a little bit of you left, and enough of you left over that you can love you enough to walk away from any bad situation, even if that means you got to save up for a rainy day. A smart woman will do what she has to do, and that's find her happiness, either with or without that individual. Stop allowing people to dictate and treat you any kind of way. If it's something that you know that you ain't cool with, don't do it. Don't do it. Stop accepting it. And stop playing professional victim. And another thing, ladies, and this is just from me to you, stop shaming, bashing, or trying to talk trash to another female when your bitch ass done went through the same shit with that same tired ass nigga that she probably done went through as well. So don't act like that your stuff don't stink either, because we all have stayed in situations longer than we should have. Instead of us sitting around like we tend to do sometimes as females and, gossip and talk about and belittle and tell, say, oh, girl, you dealing with that fool and he this, that, and the third, but you still there, what have you. My thing is this, you stop and sweep around your own front door and look at your situation, because if yours ain't much better than mine, it ain't really much you can tell me. And that's just bottom line. Ain't really shit you gonna be able to say to me that's gonna make a difference. I'm the one who's gonna choose what Wendy needs to do when Wendy needs to do it. But don't come with this, oh, holier than thou, I ain't never been through it. We all done been through it at some point, if you've ever been in a relationship. Now, that's just the truth of the matter. I don't give a damn who you are, who you think you may be, and that's all well and good. But ladies, let's stop that foolishness. Accept the fact that, you know what, sometimes we all make bad decisions. Start being accountable. But more than that, don't be a professional victim. Stop continuing to do the same tired shit over and over. A lot of us will see crazy coming around the damn corner, but we won't cross the street. Because we so busy trying to front and stunt and fuck on somebody else instead of taking care of stunting and front and fucking on ourselves first. Get it together, bottom line. And stop accepting nonsense, bullshit, and drama. If your life ain't set up that way, you ain't set up that way, stop allowing it. Stop allowing these men to run all over top of you. Find your self-worth and your self-value. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you want from yourself, you can't expect it from anybody else. Just like I posted a few minutes ago, and it was a quote that stuck out. A lot of our issues are not trust issues with other people. Our issues is trust within ourselves. And the reason behind that is because we don't trust ourselves enough to make the right decisions. We're second guess. But if that spirit in you leads you and says, you know what, it's time to go, then you pack your shit and you go. But you always be prepared just in case for a rainy day. If you need to get the fuck up out of there quick, fast, in a hurry, it'll be all right. It's better to go ahead and sever those ties than to keep wasting years of your life waiting for somebody to change that's just not. Because all you've done is set the stage for them to continue to play and waste your time. Y'all have a good evening. And please share the video. Please, please, please. WRC Chronicles. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Deuces.